All right. Somebody tell me why you did that.
It was fun.
It was fun? That was one. Following me. You may want to move because I'm going to be, because I realize that the only place this works is here. So I don't want to be yelling at you. So I've heard it was fun. You were following me. Anybody? I mean, we had a good 60% of the people start about 30 and then ramped up.
It's ingrained.
It's familiar. It's ingrained. I didn't say a word.
They didn't want to be left out.
They didn't want to be left out, the fear of being left out. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word. The amount of impact we have without speaking with our students and with our staff is amazing. And I wanted to try something. Let's see what we could do. You don't really know me. I worked a little bit with our leaders, which was awesome last week, our lead teachers and our mentors and mentees. So approximately, bad math, 3% of you, 10% maybe, in there somewhere. I visited the math team meeting, so maybe they can help me out. But now, you don't know me. I just started and you did that. So I want you to think of the impact that you have on your students. And what are you going to do? The theme for the event that we went to this summer was Act for Impact. What is the impact we're going to do? Because we talk about thinking differently a lot. We talk about let's do this, do that. But at some point, to make that impact on our students, we need to act. What are the actions we are going to do this year? And that's what I'm going to spend a little bit of time on in my role, saying I want to, hopefully we can do these actions this year. So I want someone to solve this for me. The leadership team, you don't get to participate. We already did this. Hypothetically, somebody please don't say we don't have a pencil and paper. I get that. It's up here. Solve this for me, please. And this isn't like a raging. If you, anyone have a, what's your name?
Scott.
Scott, and you were new, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for being brave to you didn't sit in the front, but that's okay. Help me out, Scott.
The only way you can do it is by going outside of class.
What? Like this?
Yep.
How many people limited themselves from the beginning? They're like, that. How many people think this is cheating? You can be brave. Scott was brave, new guy, participated. And I didn't give him the hint. We limit ourselves in our profession more than any other profession. I think for one thing I want for you as the director of curriculum instruction, I want you to think this year like a CEO, a startup CEO, whatever position we're in. And you say, what are you talking about? Think about 10 years ago. Think about CEO meetings 10 years ago. These were things that were actually said. Let's pay a stranger to sleep in their house. Better yet, let's pick and have another stranger pick us up, get in their car, and drive them to the first stranger's house. I'm old enough to have records, CDs, cassettes, and we have to like pull different songs together. Somebody said, why can't we just buy one song? Those one-hit wonders made a lot of money because you had to buy the whole album. And how many people dreaded going to the mall for one thing? But these were things that were said 10 years ago. And people in that meeting, or those meetings, probably were thinking about, this can't be done. But I think they can. They have enhanced our everyday life. So the future isn't something that just happens. The future of education doesn't just mysteriously happen. We don't walk out these doors and like, voila, it's different. It's not. It's what are we going to do? This room, this is our team. The leadership team or the teacher leader team can talk to you about one of the activities we did about team. This is our team to make that future for our students. When we look at the future focus for our students, what's it going to look like? And I'm going to just explain 3 of them to you today that I hope that I can both support and encourage for you to do. So let's think back to that CEO meeting. What if our meetings, what if we think about ourselves as those educational CEOs? And in our team meetings, we talk about innovative learning. That's one that I think we can make and change for our students. So what if we gave the students a voice in lesson development? I don't know. What if? What if we designed activities when there's not just one right answer and let students kind of work through it? I think these kind of ideas, I hope, and encourage you to have in your classrooms. I always say for myself, if I'm setting goals and someone doesn't laugh at them, they're not big enough for me. And I hope you do the same. Set ideas in your classroom and somebody or your team may giggle a little bit and say, oh, I think we could do that. So I think innovative learning is one of them. The second is how are you going to take risks as an educator? In whatever position you're in. We have so much talent in this room in many different roles. For me, I could not stand up here and encourage you to take a risk without taking some myself. Think about this. Nobody clapped. And I'm just sitting here like awkward silence and my heart is pounding like, oh my God, I had this great idea. And not one person participated. So I took a risk by playing music to start off and didn't say anything, because that could be a total flop, right? Nobody participated. Here's my email and my Leicester Twitter. Feel free to shoot me some feedback, some things that resonated with you, ideas that you want for this year. I'm having Mr. DePace film it so I can watch to make sure I deliver the message to you that you deserve. So I couldn't stand up here and take a risk or tell you to take a risk without taking one or many myself. But when we think about that same meeting, what if students taught a lesson? And I know some people are like, whoa, we have curriculum content. I've read all the content, all the curriculum, I've gone through it all this summer. I think we could do this. I do. What if we had a student or students create blogs for our classrooms? And instead of writing assignments and turning them in on that yellow scratch paper, I was in elementary school for a long time, we had them blog about what they're doing, making it out there. I don't know. I don't have the answers because you're the content experts in your classrooms. You know the students better than I do. I want to give you license to do it, though, to say, I hope you want to think about this. How about this one? What about when we do assessments? Think about Oprah, Ellen, any talk show, where they have those expert panels, right? And the people come up and they ask them questions, or the night shows that are just a little bit funnier. What if you did that in your class? That's how they showed your assessments. Or a TED Talk. Something that allows students to have a voice in their learning. So when I was thinking of different CEO meetings, and then how would that look in education, I'm hoping that these 2 things you can put in place this year and feel empowered to do that, because I do think this will make an impact on our students and an impact on our learning as well. So the third one, I want to share a little bit more of a personal one. So those first 2 I think are incredibly impactful and important. And the third one is a little bit more personal in the sense my biggest fear in education is wasted potential. That is my biggest fear. Because when I was a kid, besides getting made fun of, looking like Scott Baio, I get it. That I grew up in a single family home. My mom, my aunt who was here, Nancy, who worked for Northeastern, raised my mom, my sister and I, and this is my cousin Megan. And then my teacher, Miss Romano, they stressed education every day. I'm like, why don't I go to school? And Miss Romano said to me in one of my letters to college, she wrote, I was a diamond in the rough. I didn't know what that means. I didn't really care. Like, can I get into school or not? That's all I needed. I was 17. But for me, they were a match for me. Potential I didn't know I had. And they lit that for me throughout my early years. And with that, I've been so blessed and fortunate to be a principal, to be a district leader, to have an opportunity to speak and to write. Even went to DC and got my doctorate degree. But don't get confused. This is not about me. It's about the people. The editors of eSchool News, Manny Scott, who's a national speaker, who's helped me out a lot. My Aunt Nancy, there she is, my 8th grade graduation. I'm looking a little different than now I have no hair. The evolution. And Dr. Poulin, did you have her?
I did.
She was the chair of my dissertation and pushed me. These people in my life were matches to bring that potential out. And I think that's why my biggest fear is wasted potential. Now think for a second. Someone in your life got you into this room. I don't know who it is. It could be a positive or negative person. My only request, if you wouldn't mind, at some point after today, don't do it now, send them a thank you note. I always call my Aunt Nancy after the first day of school because she's just so thrilled. And it makes her happy that her time and effort. So think about that. But I do ask you one thing. Shut your eyes for a second and think about someone from this year. I know this is the first day and you might not know all the students, but this is a small community and you might know students in your class. Or it could be somebody in here. Take 15 seconds, shut your eyes, think about someone that you could be the match for this year. Somebody brave enough to yell it out, who are they going to be a match for? Yell it out, because when you say it, it's going to happen. Yell it out.
Mary Aldana.
Mary Aldana, all right. I like it. Anybody else? Brave enough? Yell it out.
Emily Boldre.
Yes, Emily Boldre, look at you. So, I talked about thinking about it, but I also said you need action. So I'm going to give you 4 action steps before I turn it over to Pam, Ms. Smith. So I talked about being a match for somebody. Now my son's an Eagle Scout, so I know how this works. After you have a match, you have a spark, right? So if you're the match, create a spark, what comes next? Fire. Where's Ted? Go put it out. It's an inside joke for our teacher leaders, but please don't put it out. This fire inside the person that you are a match for is going to keep them motivated all year long. And another thing that we do in education really well, and too much, is acronyms. You're just getting another one though. It's just easy for me. Because I can remember and I don't have to look behind me. So if you're going to be that match for someone, I think these 4 things come into play when you leave today. What is your passion for being in education? Because everyone in this room is part of education in some capacity. What is it? You heard mine, that I enjoy working with staff, students, so that you can reach your full potential. That is my passion for getting into education and pursuing the things that I have. Yours is going to be personal, whatever it is to you. But whatever it is, own it. And then move to inspire somebody from it. Inspire is very different than motivation. You all, I think, were motivated to get here on time so you weren't late. That's a motivation. Students are motivated to get their homework done because it could be percentage of their work. Inspiring someone is that intrinsic drive. What are you going to do this year that is going to support? We heard some people that are already yelled it out were brave enough to inspire somebody else. What is it that you're going to do to accomplish that? I don't have these answers. I'm a master of rhetorical questions to other people. I know what I'm going to do, and it's about action and plans and working with professional development and being authentic and helping people take that next step, whatever it is. It could be the first step in changing some instruction. It could be the 10th. Whatever it is, that's what I'm inspired to do. But it all starts with building relationships. Building relationships with your students, know their names, high five, whatever it is comfortable for you. I don't know your cadence, I don't know your connection, but whatever it is, find a way to develop that relationship with students. I'm going to be around because I want to see how people work. I want to see how students operate. I want to know people's names. That's important to me. Building those relationships. And the last one, I've talked a lot about somebody this, somebody that, but I've been saying it wrong. It's not somebody. It's everybody. Every student that walks through that door tomorrow, or the preschoolers when they show up, everyone deserves to have someone in this room believe in them. Everyone in this room deserves someone to believe in them. Everyone deserves that match. And I hope you this year take that message. Every boy that walks through the door, every girl, every race, every religion, everyone that comes to Leicester Public School deserves someone to believe in them. We talked about innovative instruction, we talked about risk-taking, and then the last part talked about being that match for somebody. So I'm going to leave that with you. That when you leave today, when you walk out the door, we're starting, the race is on. What are you going to do to really support somebody this year?
Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain.